It's story time here at Shift County, and we're taking a break from the Lemons build to focus a little more attention on the MX-5. So yes, the turbo is coming, but today's a bit of a momentous occasion for me. You see, a little bit of a backstory. I love aviation, and I think it's the gauges and all that, the gauges and the switchgear, aside from the flying, that is also one of the fascinating parts of it. So as a result, I developed a little bit of an affinity for horology and watches. So I've got a nice watch collection, and I like looking at dials. It's a bit of a blokey thing. And way back when, and we're probably talking close to 10 years ago, I came across a website that allowed for, well, modified gauge faces. And this was something that I've done in previous cars on a DIY point. Done it in Peugeot, done it in my MX-6s, and I really enjoyed being able to customize it and having an interesting gauge to look at. So when I found this website and I saw all these modified gauge faces, these custom gauge faces, I was rather taken with that. I didn't have an MX-5 at the time, but this website definitely pushed me in the direction of buying an MX-5. I am, of course, talking about RevLimiter.net. Adam Wolf there makes some beautiful custom gauge faces for the Mazda MX-5, the NA, NB, NCs and NDs, and is expanded into Mazda RX-7s and Suzuki Cappuccinos and the likes. And it really is fascinating, and his stuff, I believe, is top-notch. Finally, due to the weak rand and all that sort of stuff, I took the plunge, and today my first set of RevLimiter gauges arrived. This is a bit of a proud moment. I can't actually explain or put into words how giddy I am about this, because this has been a long time coming. There's been a few modifications that I've really wanted to do to the car, but from day dot, from before I even had the vehicle, I knew that this was one that I had to do. So this gauge set is one of his off-the-shelf offerings. It's not fully customized, and this is going to be going in Ronin, the NA8. I do quite like the standard gauges in the NB. I like white gauge faces, but this isn't a white set. So I'm not going to do the install in this video, but what I am going to do, I'm going to do a bit of an unboxing with you. So join me as, well, 30-year-old me gets excited again. Okay, so here we go. Should be doing this in the garage probably, but hey, I want to keep them nice and clean, and the wife's not home, so we'll do it in the kitchen instead. Alright, let's get into this. Nice. Packaging pretty tidy as well. I mean, Adam has been doing this for quite a while. So I ordered a set of gauges and a set of LED bulbs because I want to backlight them in white. Okay, tracked, insured. And of course the tracking didn't work on South Africa's side, so yeah, nice pain in the butt there. Let's get that one open. Well, it's properly sealed. Press firmly to seal. What about opening? How does that work? We don't use boxes like this yet. Okay, there we go. Like I say, giddy with excitement here. Oh, all very nicely wrapped actually. Oh, wow. All right, Adam is known for doing this, including a bit of a gift in with all the purchases, and of course a personalized thank you, Chad. I mean, that's really awesome, that's touching. It's little things like that that make the world of difference. I'm a firm advocate that you can buy a product just about anywhere, but it's a service that keeps you coming back. And people will never forget how you make them feel. And that feels good. Okay, so. A little bit of a care package here. RevLimiter stickers, those are lovely, those are awesome, those are going to definitely go on the car. I have no problem supporting it. Mazda Laguna Seca Raceway. Now that is power. I love Laguna Seca, the fact that it is Mazda as well. That's going to get pride of place somewhere. Thank you, Adam. we have a business card round the design of a gauge, and that's very befitting. And of course a nice Hot Wheels 59 Chevy Impala there. It's going to go in the collection. Thank you, Adam. I mean, these are things that you haven't paid for. These are just added bonus items, and it really makes a world of difference. All right, gauge packing list. So there are my LED bulbs. They are special. There's some of the washers, some tools, pry tools for getting the needles off of the gauge faces, and some gloves that you'll use to help prevent oily fingerprints. And then, well, let's pack that one side. And we get down to the gauges themselves, which I mean is why we do this. It's the reason why we're here, actually. That's a lovely card, and that'll go up with the rest of the stuff. Thank you, Adam. Can't thank you enough. I mean, I've paid for it. I am the customer, but the amount of attention that you put in makes the world of difference. All right, here we go. RevLimiter gauges. Now, the last thing that I want to do is make a mess of them. Version Sunstorm with white lighting. So let's try not to get too much dust on them. We want to work in a dust-free environment, or as close to it as we can get. Naturally, because my vehicle is a South African model, it is for an NA, it is in kilometers an hour, and European, so that goes up to 220 kilometers an hour. The JDM ones are only marked to 180, and of course don't work in miles per hour. All right, do not eat, of course. Welcome to California. Fruit bowls. All right, here we go. Some installation instructions. There we go, Sunstorm. Yep, we're going with the Ferrari-inspired yellow taco. So that would be the taco over there. Ooh, let's not lose it entirely. It's slipped out. That'll be the speedometer. And there's our fuel and temperature gauges, which are naturally going to sit above and off to the side. So while the theme of the car is generally monochrome with touches of red, I think this dash of yellow on the interior is going to be absolutely amazing. And if we hold this up, hopefully the camera will focus here nicely. There's just a beautiful texture to the gauges, and I mean, these are relatively thick. These are quality components. I didn't doubt it at all. I've seen many people that have posted about the experience with RevLimiter and with the gauges and fitting the gauges and the likes. And I regularly go back to his blog and follow the updates, his own ownership journey and the likes and all his modifications. I'd love to get more of his items in, and in due course I probably will. But that is the Sunstorm set that will be going into the vehicle. Once again, thank you very much, Adam, from RevLimiter.net. I'll include a bit of a link below so that you guys can go and follow it. But take a look. It was a tough call. I said, do I go with the Apollo, which has a bit of an Omega wristwatch look? Do I go with the Warbird, which looks like a World War II fighter or bomber? And of course, you know, when you're enjoying aviation, you maybe want to include it. And at the end of the day, I just decided, well, I'm going to go down the route of going with the Sunstorm gauges. It was the one that stood out the most for me. And I don't think I'm sorry. I think those are going to look absolutely fantastic in the car. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. And join us again for more Lemons builds, more turbo builds, and of course, fitting these bad boys.